Oh, hey. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen out there in TV land, and welcome to yet another edition of the Pittsburgh Sports Desk. I'm your host for the night, and we're missing one person. We're missing Bill, the A-Train Akins. He unfortunately had a death in the family, and he's dealing with a little planning here and there, and we wish him all the best, and all the thoughts and prayers go to him and his wife in this difficult time. But we go on, and I'm joined tonight by the doctor, Dr. McCown. You ever need a proctologist? He's your man right there. He has the best stories you've ever heard in your life.
Best man I be.
See? And he loves it. And his personalized plate is everywhere, all over town. People steal it all the time. Unfortunately, he has to change it quite often. And we're also joined by the sexy man of the hour, the talent. I don't know how many more superlatives we can give him, but it is Tracy Milo Sirocco, the second, not the first, not junior, not the third, not the fourth, but the second.
El Duce.
The El Duce. He's here to join us tonight. All right, as you know, this is obviously the Pittsburgh Sports Desk. So we're going to talk about Pittsburgh sports. We're going to start off with the Steelers. We're going to touch on the Penguins, touch on the Pirates. If we have time left over, we'll talk about other things that interest us in life. Maybe a little trivia question for Mac and the sax man, the doctor and the sax man. We'll see. All right, boys. Up first, going to be quick. You have no more than 5 minutes on your answer, either one of you. If you go longer than 5 minutes, nothing will happen to you because I can't do anything. But I'd appreciate it if you just would go just about 5 minutes. All right. We have
no whammies.
Go ahead. What's up, All right. So important dates we have in the NFL, right? We are sitting today at it is February 18th, 2026. Next week, we have what's called the Underwear Olympics, right? Where all these athletes get together. They strip down and they do some exercises for mankind and for a bunch of dudes and dudettes who sit up in the stands and they do allow fans in there, which I don't know why you really would want to go there, but everybody's obsessed with the one and only thing in there, and that is the 40 time. Some of the deep balls, they like when the quarterbacks throw deep, but it is the Underwear Olympics, and it's interesting because number one, Steelers have a new regime. What will they do? We don't know. They go into the draft with 12 picks. That's right, folks, 12 picks. So my first question is to the doctor, Dr. Mack. The Steelers are going in with 12 picks. Do they leave the draft at the end on Saturday afternoonish, nightish? Do they have 12 players?
Great question. I would have to say that a lot of it's going to dictate on whether or not they decide to resemble a rebuild or if in fact they're going for this. And of course it's the never-ending question, I should say, with Aaron Rodgers. Is he going to be back? If they are, then they're going to run with it. And if they don't, then obviously I think they're going to start to do what I think they should be doing in the first place and stacking draft picks. So a backwards answer, who knows? If Rodgers comes back, I think they're going to try to step on the gas and try to win now. But, if they don't have a quarterback, so hence they should stack them.
Okay, first interjecting question. So they should have some flexibility, right? They have 3 threes, a couple fours here, there, different stuff, blah, 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 blah. So if I'm hearing you correctly, you think that Rodgers equals going up and down in the draft, not Rodgers means going after, players who are able to come in and build and add to the team, but in a different way.
Yeah, well, I mean, and again, there's a difference of an opinion on whether they're going to win now. They obviously, with Rodgers, think they are going to win now. So hence, they're not going to sell out to 27 and 28 and try to stack for next year and the following. So no, they if you want my personal opinion, they're not coming in with more draft picks. I think that I don't think that they're going to stack up anything. If anything, I think they're going to potentially try to sell draft picks for asset.
Interesting.
Because I think Rodgers is coming back. So I think they're making the play to go now.
All right, Sax, you're up.
I see them making a trade of some kind, whether it's taking a couple of his picks and getting a veteran something, or taking a couple of those picks and trading up. And I don't rule out, as I start trying to get under the salary cap, taking one of these guys and trading them away to get even more picks or getting higher picks. I know they had like 30-some million ish in cap room. And I know that'll move up and down as they start doing stuff with this cap. But I think wide receiver is definitely number one on their list no matter what. I'm not sure there's a quarterback out there to get after, but I definitely think middle linebacker is number two. So the amount of picks they have, if they leave with 12, that'd be great. Any more would be even better.
So what I meant by I meant, do they use all those picks on human beings and come out with 12 players? I think it's highly unlikely. I can't remember the last time that's happened in the modern draft because there used to be 12 rounds. I can't imagine, that they would do that. I kind of tend to agree that they should have some sort of plan in place. They should have an A plan, a B plan, a C plan, and the ever popular D when the, what hits the fan and you get punched in the face by Mike Tyson. I think it's going to be telling. If they go wide receiver first, it's going to be interesting because Rodgers never really had a number one wide receiver, as far as draft. We obviously, he played with great wide receivers. But Trace, you brought up the quarterback position, right? So I agree with you. In the first round, I think there's really only one player going, and that's the first overall. And that's the big boy from Indiana. So after Mendoza, would you see a scenario in which the Steelers take a couple of those number threes and try to get in the back half of the first round to go after, say, a Ty Simpson or a Garrett Nussmeier? What do you think? Ty Simpson's from Alabama, Nussmeier's from LSU. What do you think?
Well, I think Kahn is definitely not what Colbert was. But I think you're 50-50. Yes. And I'm going to lean the 51 to 49% there towards a yes, so that they trade up to try to get somebody like that if they think that the pedigree is there. But who knows if it is or not, right? And if it's not one of those guys, then I'm not sure what they're actually trying to get after with this rebuild here, because we obviously know there's at least 3 or 4 positions they have to fill. And if they don't get at least that one, which is the quarterback, then they're not even starting from anything then.
Okay, back to you, Mac. You talked about the win now with Aaron Rodgers. And if you take that path, which I don't disagree with, if that's what they want to do, you're still going to need a quarterback because this is a 1 year, one and done for him if he comes back. So same question to you. Do they take a bunch of those picks after they get the number one after they get the wide receiver in the first round? Do they take a couple of those picks and try to get back into the end of the back half of that first round to ensure the fifth-year option and go after a Nussmeier or a Ty Simpson?
Well, I like both guys. I mean, I do like Simpson. I like Nussmeier as well. Can you get them? Can you get them there? That's the problem. When you got a draft like this that's so sparse, okay, with candidates, you might not get that guy on the back end. I think that there's 3 guys. Obviously, you mentioned the 2 there, and obviously the Raiders are going to take Mendoza. But other than those 3, I don't see anyone else that you would be willing to jump into the first round and take. Now, mind you, it's a quarterback league, and we know that someone's going to reach for guy 4 or 5, whoever that might be. I don't know, but I don't know if you get that guy unless you're in the top 10 or 13 maybe at most. Again, I think people are going to reach for them. When there's limited, it's supply demand, right? So someone's going to reach up and grab these 3 guys. You ain't getting that guy in 25 or whatever. I just don't think it's going to happen.
No.
Interesting. I mean, the way the draft plays out, although it is a quarterback needy draft, we have to see what happens with the releases of these quarterbacks. So you're going to see in the next couple of days, within less than a month, the ones that are purportedly to be released are Kirk Cousins, Tua Tagovailoa, and Mr. Kyler Murray from Arizona. So I think a lot of those they're going to fix themselves because I think a lot of people are going to go after them. I really do. I mean, I don't know why. I don't know why anybody wouldn't want a Kyler Murray. Let the dude play video games, but he has to run. He's still a hell of an athlete, and he's post year 3 of his ACL, so he should be in pretty good shape. All right, Trace, back to you. You like wide receiver, right? What top wide? I mean, there's going to be a bunch of wide receivers out there, and although we haven't really studied them, so I'm not going to put you on the. Oh
no, I have a list, Eddie.
All right, but what I'm going to ask you, I'm going to ask you to describe what kind of wide receiver should fit in the system with an Aaron Rodgers, without an Aaron Rodgers. And what I mean by that is it a precise route runner who lacks high-end speed, or is it somebody who has the high-end speed to open up the middle for people, say, like Pat Freiermuth and those ilk? What do you think?
I think we're looking at a taller wide receiver, so somewhere between 6'2" to 6'4". I don't think speed is going to be a major factor, but at the same time, we need somebody who has the footwork to run the routes. We need somebody who can run professional routes. That's something I think we've been lacking. They went and got those older wide receivers later in the year because the young guys we did have were running really bad routes, and it was throwing everything off. And as soon as those older guys came in and start running proper routes, everything started happening. But I think if we get that possession guy that we can go to, if nobody else is open, that would be great. But we haven't had that guy in a little while.
Okay, same question to you, Dr. Mack.
I got to make a comment on those quarterbacks you threw out. Kyler Murray, I understand, your comment, but he scored more touchdowns on his video game play on Madden than he has in the last couple of years. So I don't know who's looking for this guy. Cousins, I can agree with you on. And as for the other guy, I mean, one more pop, the guy ain't playing ever again in Tua. Okay, so you got one guy out of those three that I would throw dice on. Skipping over to the wide receiver. Sorry, I had to touch on that. But anyway, skipping back into the wide receivers, I mean, there's a couple guys that are pretty big. That kid from Ohio State's pretty good.
Yeah, two of them. I think there's two of them from there, isn't there, Matt?
Tate's not that big, though.
He is not, but he is very coveted, if not the best receiver in the game.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be there at 19. But
I don't.
I'd take Carnal Tate.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of guys. There's the kid from LSU. I can't think of his name.
Yep.
That one. By the way, is that Boston kid? Is any relation to the David Boston guy?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
Middle linebacker, right?
No. The receiver for
Arizona.
Oh yeah.
Remember back in the day, his dad was a referee.
No, he's from Washington.
Which one are you talking about?
Boston.
No, but you said he's related to
Texas.
Yeah, David Boston.
Yes. I don't think he is. I don't think he is.
Yeah. Or Austin, Massachusetts.
By the way, as I get older and older, I see these kids that are the sons of players playing. I don't know.
That's wild, right?
Yeah, I mean, but anyway, I digress. But that other kid from Indiana is attracting a lot of attention, and I think because of the win, Surratt, he's going to move up high. So I think he's nothing more than, no offense to the guy, but I think he's a third run guy. But I think he could bump up into the top 15.
He's drawing comparisons to Mike Evans, which I think is pretty fair.
I hear that comparison, if not more accolades. But again, when you got a guy like Mendoza that's putting the ball, splitting your number in half,
right.
that makes a difference. Not to say he's not going to pair up with someone good, but a little high for him. I think he might go top 15 just because of the championship. But
yeah, he could. All right, Robin Simmons says, the incomparable Robin Simmons says, Seals need to go O-line, D-line heavy. If you control the line of scrimmage, you win lots of football games or ball games. So, question to Dr. Mack. What is your philosophy when drafting? You're the Steelers GM. Are you a build from the inside out or the outside in? And now this is time for you to self-scout as well. So go ahead.
I didn't hear the last comment.
Are you somebody who believes in building from the inside out, meaning the lines?
Yeah, absolutely.
Or are you outside in?
Absolutely. You have to protect the house before you build the house. The foundation has to start it. So now, I don't think there's any question on that.
Now, self-scout, where do you think they have needs?
Well, the offensive line made progress last year. I think they're okay in the middle at center. You know what I mean? But they obviously have a couple guys that they're leaving go. The big guy that we all give up. I'm sorry?
Mahler. They're going to let Mahler go.
Yep. He's done. Unless
he's 32 and a free agent. And Broader, it brings up the bigger point, and you're coming to Broader Jones. What do you do?
And BJ, you can't bring him back. Not that cost.
Well, I think he still has one more year. We just don't sign his fifth year, right?
Oh, I thought he was up on the fifth year.
No, this is the year. This is the year they decide whether or not he gets that fifth year. And that
I don't think he's getting it.
It's $20 some million. And if I think this is another reason why, I look at the Steelers organization, and if you actually see change or something different, I swear to you, a million bazillion times, move that kid to guard. Simply move him to guard. Move him to guard. Move him to guard. Move him to guard. He's your new left guard. Sal Malu leaves. He's your new left guard, and you keep the kid.
I don't think it'll work out there either, Eddie.
Keep the kid from Montana at the left tackle. You can't not play him. It's too much of an investment.
In your defense, Ed, that's less foot.
It's been done before in the NFL to great success.
Well, we can all agree his biggest problem is that footwork, Trace. You've pinpointed it 1.5 million times. So if
his footwork, his handwork, and then to move the guard to Mac, you got to have a center of gravity that
I don't disagree with you, but if you take the feet part out of the scenario,
right?
I'm kind of with you, Ed. What would it hurt though?
Nothing would hurt nothing. And what's more vulnerable to a quarterback?
Exactly.
I mean, that blind side. Most of the time he's a turnstile. Put him 335 pounds. Put a guard. It's an easy way to hide him because he's a first-round pick. I'm telling you.
I would move on from him. He's going to be too expensive. The return on investment is not there.
Yeah, they're not gonna give him the fifth-year option. So this is his last year. I mean, I would try something. You can't leave him at left tackle. There's no way on God's green earth.
Impossible. And
he's not a swing tackle because he can't play right tackle. I mean, you might as well try him at guard and get something out of a first-round pick. I mean, the Steelers are notorious. Go ahead.
Yeah, again, you have no loss on doing that, Ed. That's zero. But will they do that? I don't.
Look, you have to use every asset, and you have to find those square holes and square pegs, right? I would put the kid there only because the Steelers are notorious for letting go of first-round picks, and they go out and they have success elsewhere. Many examples of that. Look at Devin Bush playing extremely well for Cleveland and under Schwartz, right? Extremely well.
Well, he ain't going to protect the blind side. We already seen it 1,000,000 times.
Right. You can't do that. it's career suicide and team suicide to do that. You can't do it.
Right. So he's either going to stay on the bench, and or you're going to bring him in as a supplemental guy to give up a sack or two.
Or you're going to release him outright, which I think is idiocy because somebody will pick him up who can coach, and they're going to put him guard. I'm telling you, I've seen it too many times in the NFL. The guy doesn't
have the pad level to play guard, Eddie.
Well, he might not. What you can hide him better there if I'm the Steelers. If you're going to keep him on your team, let me see his hit.
I think you hit the nail on the head when you said to hide him. The fact they have to hide him means he's probably cut bait right now. But they have to sign Cook first.
Right. So he is. It's not that much of dead money. It's 5.3.
Mac, what do you think about the right side of the line now?
I think we're okay over there.
Me too. That's what I thought.
The right side of the line.
Yes.
I don't think that needs holding up, guys. I think that's a one contract guy, and he's average. He's not even top tier. He's average.
Well, he's not a concern for this upcoming year, especially if we have Jones to back his ass up. I think we're all right at right tackle.
I don't think Jones can back in. I don't think he can back up a truck, let alone back up a tackle. They need to do something on the offensive line. They really do. They're desperate to get a new toy on offense, but nothing scares anybody on that offense. Not even. I mean, do you think the Seahawks care if they let go of DK Metcalf?
Again, we picked up McCormick in the third round, and he's been great so far. But I think the only thing we have a problem with is his pad level was a little bit too high, right?
Well, I mean, with the new coaching staff, are they going to actually coach? Are they going to develop players? That's another question. Do they have enough coaches on the staff to start developing players? Anybody?
That's a $1 million question.
That's an all skate.
Yeah.
Well, they're gaining more coaches because they had those positions we never even heard of that they had adopted from some other organizations, right? So that they're putting more things in place, more pieces.
True, and I think that's important. All right, so I think we beat that to death in the underwear Olympics. I think the Steelers should be looking more offensive, defensive line, but that's just me. They need a wideout. There's tons of wideouts. You can get those in free agency, a dime a dozen.
So when you say defensive line, I think it's a defensive end more specifically because I think Harmon can take the defensive tackle position. But I do think they need to find another middle linebacker.
First year he's hurt 8 games. 8. We'll see if the guy can stay healthy before we can judge him. But I digress, right? So the Underwear Olympics happen, right? Our next step is what players are they keeping? What players are they releasing? Trace, you're up first. I'll give you some numbers here, right? So you let go of Ramsey, that gets you $20 million in cap savings, zero dead money. $20 million in cap space, zero dead money. He'll be 32 this year. I'll tell you that again. Zero dead cap money, $20 million in cap savings. Okay? You talk about Cam Hayward, right? You release him, you save $10 million. That's $30 million. Patrick Queen, you save $10 million. That's $40 million. Okay, Freiermuth, don't know why you drafted him, don't know why you extended him. He could save you another, what is that? No, that's not worth it. But all right, Trace, there you are. Who you keeping? Who's shipping out?
Well, Cam is staying. Freiermuth is staying. The other guys, I think, are gone. I think Ramsey displayed that he doesn't have what we thought he would have, which was like a shutdown corner or a turnover machine. And that's why they put him back at free safety to make the plays like that. And I think he made some plays that were okay, but he's not worth the money. He's not doing the turnovers like we needed. I think he's gone. And I think Patrick Queen underplayed that middle linebacker position all season long. And I can't wait to see somebody else get that green dot.
Wow. It's impressive. Matt, same to you, man.
Well, that's pretty heavy. One, I had to check that $19 million figure. I knew he was up there, but I didn't realize it was there. So, in reference to Ramsey, I think everyone agrees that Ramsey's gone. In reference to Queen, I don't know if you're getting your wish, Trace. That guy puts tackles on the board, and I don't know if they're going to part ways with that guy. I just don't feel they're going to. So I don't know if you get your wish on that one.
And I'm going to push back a ton on you with Hayward. Why? You haven't won a darn thing with him. Zero. You've won zero with him. He has one. What does he have? One or two playoff wins in his entire career, and those are in 2016. That's a decade ago. Why? Why would you bring him back? There's just no reason. If you believe
the mistakes like Greg Lloyd and Rod Woodson, it would be my answer to you. Guys like that they let go, that they try to give the benefit of the doubt, but then you have people like Paul Malu that hit a wall. I don't think Cam hit that wall. I think Cam is still playing a high quality football, Eddie.
That's irrelevant. The fact of the matter is it's a young person's game. You need that money. You have to go get people who are better than him. You just have to. And you're losing with him. It'd be different if he, led the team in tackles, led the team in sacks. He's still going to be 37. There's no future there.
I'll say this. Let me jump in there, Ed. I see both your points, and I don't, not to knock Trace's answer, but I don't like making current decisions off of past behavior.
Correct.
However, all that said, I was a big guy that disagreed with him paying Cam that fake contract, if you will, just to save face with him and make it look good and all that other stuff. I wouldn't have done that. Okay. However, if I have to pick a guy that overperformed his contract last year, or his expectations, he's one of them. So side with you, Trace. He played that. Again, I agree with you. He's way over the hill, especially for that position. But he played worth the money that they paid him. Maybe one of the only guys on the team.
Irrelevant, completely irrelevant because of the fact of what you just said. That is the past. How do you know anybody behind him can play?
I don't know that, Ed. But
right, because he's there. You're stunting the development of any player you put near there.
By the way, I'm challenging you and asking you why are we using something that happened just 2 months ago past? Okay, that's current play. Okay,
it's past.
I'm not basing him on 10 years ago.
It's past play. It's not worth it at all. It just is not worth it.
Again,
you can't develop anybody behind him.
Well, no. What am I going to get? What am I going to sign him for? I mean, if you want to talk about, negotiating and redoing his contract or something or whatever, okay. But he's a leader. He performed. I was wrong with him 2 years ago.
I can't give the guy $13 million, Ross.
I didn't say to give him $13 million.
Well, that's what
I just said if you can restructure him, you can keep that guy.
Nope, not doing it. I'm not doing it because all it does is stunt the growth of the defense. You're not getting you're not winning with them. That's the point. This team doesn't win. You have
to. If we're talking win now,
I don't do it. I don't do it.
If you want to win now, he's playing.
I don't do it because I don't know what's behind them. What about the who else are those terrible guys they got? They got the Loudermilk. Who was the other kid they got? They
Loudermilk's done.
And who was the other kid? They took two of them from Wisconsin. It was Loudermilk and it was the other kid. Wasn't Benton from Wisconsin as well?
No, Benton was from Notre Dame.
No, he's not from Notre Dame. Keanu Benton's not from Notre Dame at all.
Where the hell Keanu Benton come from? That
came from Wisconsin.
Really?
They took two Wisconsin guys and almost back-to-back drafts. I think everyone's being stunted. It's the same thing with bringing Aaron Rodgers back. You're not going to win now. There's no way. His team is not.
Well, I don't know if we can say the same for Aaron Rodgers. Whose growth are you stunting?
You don't know.
Mason. He's the only guy on the signed on the quarterback. He's the only guy.
No. You have two quarterbacks.
Will Howard.
You have Will Howard and you have Mason Rudolph on the roster right now.
Okay. You got Mason. We already know that there's no growth there.
You don't know about the kid everybody thinks is incredible. 6th-round pick, Will Howard out of the Ohio State University.
By the way, your voice inflection said enough for me.
It's not very good. However, Comic, you didn't win with him. I don't understand why you guys don't want to win. You got to bite the bullet and win. If this is all about, and this is probably what the Steelers organization is thinking, if this is all about protecting that stupid, ridiculous, well, we've never had a losing season.
No.
Who cares?
It's a new era here, Edward.
I'm telling you. I talked to the French native from another place, Le Baron, today.
That's your first mistake.
I know.
Yes.
But he is convinced that is all this organization, that's all Art cares about. That's all he cares about.
I don't agree with that.
I don't know. I mean, time will tell because we'll notice by the moves they make. We've been doing this long enough. This show for 6 years. This is episode, 270 or something. We've been doing this for too long. We all played. We've all watched. We've all coached. All those fun things, right? If that's what they're up to, and we'll know immediately, right? Because I would start shaving all those people off the roster. I need money, and I need it now. I need cap money, and I have tons of picks, right? If I can increase my cap space, if it's 30, what is it, 40? Hold on. Effective cap space for the Pittsburgh Steelers right now today. And this is two different sites if you want to check my math. 44.
I thought it was 37, Eddie.
44,943. And let me check Spotrac. Spotrac.
Is that before or after Jonnu Smith was released?
Hold on. Team cap. They're both about the same, 44,768. So they're within $2,000 of each other, right? So $44 million. If I could double that right now, I'm doubling it because I cannot win with the players I have now. Sure, I can go 9-8, 10-7, but I can't win playoff games at all. I need actual thoroughbred horses. I don't need these ponies that show up or the old horse in the gate, that's going to run around, make everybody happy one more time.
Well, this goes back to my first point, Ed, and you're going on the premise. I don't disagree with you that you're wrong. I would lean towards your philosophy better, okay, than the city we reside in. By the way, you for longer than anyone in this chat. But anyway, on that note, they're not on that path. They're ready to win now. I agree with you. They should be on rebuild. But if you're going to win now, you can't cut some of these guys that can help you win now.
But I took my sword and I knighted Mac, the GM, right? You're the GM, right? You've self-scouted. You can't win now. I mean, sure, you can probably go 9-8. Why not? But that doesn't mean squat.
It's probably what they're going to do.
But that doesn't mean squat because 9-8 doesn't get you anything. You need to start winning playoff games and make deep runs. So I've knighted you. You've self-scouted. You don't have the team to do anything. I mean, they're young in some places, older in other places, and just bad in other places too. I mean, when they roll out that offense next year, and if it's just Aaron Rodgers, I don't think they're going to retain their running back. I think he's gone because he's going to get probably $10 million from somebody. Yeah, he's going to get $10 million from somebody, and the Steelers aren't going to do that because they're ignorant and they won't pay people what they're worth. Right? Who's a young kid too, 26 years old. I'm paying him, but anyway. I digress. You roll out, number 30 is the running back. There's DK Metcalf. What's that?
I'm surprised you said you would retain Gainwell on that. I like Gainwell.
They are not going to be able to retain. That's not what I said. I said they can't retain Gainwell.
No, but I'm saying you said you would, though.
He was your offensive player of the year.
I don't disagree with what you're saying.
Would I retain him at the price he's going to get paid? No.
$10 million?
If I'm the Steelers, I would pay it if I was a GM, but they will not. They want him. They think he's
The
going to
heavy
do
price tag.
Five.
Which
I
way do
think
you
Aaron
like it,
Rodgers-
Eddie? You hate it that they pay these players like, Hayward and whatnot, or do you not hate it when they don't pay the
26
players,
versus 37. What are you going to do? That's
I
pretty easy.
mean, either way, both of them are showing out.
26
Yeah.
or 37. Which one do you want? One
I
dude's
mean,
going to
Cam showed up.
What do you think he's going to do? 36. You think you're going to win with him next year? Think he's going to have any part in winning at least one playoff game next year?
I would say
I don't think he's the reason we
Gainwell. I would
lost.
say Gainwell is worth retaining for sure.
He is.
I do too.
And if Aaron Rodgers is smart, he will make sure Gainwell's there because he's going to save his neck.
Right.
He
He's the
needs
outlet
him.
pass. He's better on kickoffs than anybody
Correct.
you have.
Well, what about the other running
needs
back
him.
they got? That one they drafted.
Oh, please.
Yeah, well,
Do you think anything comes out of that?
No, come on, man. That's Tomlin. Tomlin can't.
I mean,
he scored a
great
touchdown.
question, Trace. But yeah, I mean,
He's just not very
Yeah.
good. He's just
Well, I mean, everybody needs a minute to grow. Just because he didn't do it in his first year, that doesn't mean they can't turn around and hand the ball. Maybe we can't develop something here.
that word is amazing that you just used, develop. I would give you that if again, it's a wait and see. How does it all work? Do they respond to the new coaching staff? Do they respond to the new schemes? Who knows? If I'm them, I'm changing the scheme on defense because you've been doing the exact same thing over and over again, and it's just not netted them anything in the last 10 years. 10 years now we're talking.
I'll say this. In terms of development in a running back, okay, I have a different take on what most people say. A running back needs touches in actual gameplay to develop. That kid didn't get a chance. I don't know why, Trace. I agree with you. They should give him a chance. You know what I mean? But they didn't give him any opportunities whatsoever. So
That's because that's
so
where
that's the only way a running back develops.
Aaron Rodgers stepped in because his pass pro is terrible.
Yeah,
And that's
that was one of the main things they said is he couldn't pick up the blitzer
at all. So if you're a quarterback,
I
at
hear
40,
you.
41 years old, and you got a running back in there who may have talent, may not have talent, but he can't. You go to run the ball and you're on your ass, or go to pass the ball and you're sitting up looking at the sky. Truth be told, I agree with you. And the maturization of quarterbacks is also ridiculous now. We have no idea because of the fact of what Sam Darnold did. He won the Super Bowl, spent the entire playoffs, no turnovers, never happened before. So I agree with you. There's a maturation process they have to figure out, but that goes back to developing and doing all that stuff. Maybe with the enhanced coaching staff, which I'm in favor of, only because it adds more voices. If that one voice is multiplied,
By the way,
by
I think
20,
it did. I think it did happen, didn't it? Joe Flacco did it. I'm pretty sure, didn't he? No turnovers.
No, the team. I'm sorry, the team. The team.
Oh,
Seattle
okay.
Seahawks were the first team to go through the playoffs without
Okay.
turnovers. Yeah, Joe Flacco did do it. He was 12 touchdowns, 0 interceptions when they beat the San Francisco 49ers, quarterback by Colin Kaepernick. Anyway, so I think that we'll be able to tell as soon as they hit all these markers and see what they do. Me, I'm cleaning house. Dr. Mack, for all those people out there in video land, Dr. Mack was not in favor of signing TJ Watt when he was 27 years old. He said it's not worth it. And Dr. Mack proved to be true. He really did. It was a lot of investment in the guy. Well, clearly now is not the best. He doesn't have the stats either at all because Myles Garrett is so much farther ahead at this point. So, anyway, if the Steelers come out and make moves, I think if you're Steeler Nation, go ahead.
Hey Ed, how much did we pay for each playoff win that we had TJ Watt here?
He nothing. He didn't have one, which is the problem. And also, if I'm a player like TJ Watt, if I'm one of these players, you have to be frustrated. You just have to be professionally.
Yeah.
You're not going anywhere. Wouldn't you rather be somewhere where you have a chance to actually win the Super Bowl? That's why I would have cleaned house. I really would have. I would have gone to all of them. Ken, you've been a great soldier, right? Why don't you go to Seattle? We'll get a 5th or 6th round pick for you. Go see if you can win there. Watt, go to New England. We'll get a 2nd for you, a 2nd this year and a 4 next year. Go see if you can have some fun. It doesn't diminish anything. It's just good business, right? It takes the salary off your books, and those are teams that have money too. So I'm curious as to what they're going to be. It's a great story if they're able to do it, but we'll see how much power Tomlin actually had. If it was Omar Khan making draft picks, Steelers are in big time trouble. because his draft picks have been crap. Go ahead, Matt.
I agree with you on that. However, with McCarthy at the helm, are things different? I mean, are things different? And how different are they going to be? Again, the personnel will have to change because obviously, they're just another year older, and that's not good for this team. Especially with what you already mentioned with the captain, if you will, in Hayward. But is McCarthy better than Tomlin? Period. Is he? We'll see. Okay, I think so.
Well, that's another good point, Mac. Is there draft heavy offense, heavy defense, or split down the middle?
Well, I mean, considering what they put on the defensive side of the ball last year, I don't know how much more that you could spend than they did last year.
I think it's going to be offense, Eddie.
Yeah, it has to be. I mean,
And I think Robin wasn't wrong. I think they're going to look at the offensive line, but at some point we need that wide receiver, left guard. I still think a middle linebacker, and we still got to address free safety somehow with that.
That's true. That's a good point because Duggar's a free agent. We have comments here. Tommy, string, and a bunch of numbers. You guys think Cam is past taking a team-friendly deal? I don't think there's much money in there for Cam. They're gonna dictate what he gets.
I do think he's past it because he held out to get extra money, right?
Really, at some point, though, I mean, you have to have the conscious knowledge that you're not winning, right? So now you just look like somebody who wants money. Honestly, if you want to make the Steelers a better team, you take less money. Well, Patrick Mahomes' cap hit this year is like, I don't know, it's low. It's in the 30s, right? Because he realized that they need tons and tons of players. Now, is he going to get his money? Yeah, it's going to be years from now, but he's going to get his money. But you have in the win now, everybody takes less money if you want to win now. And then we got Samuel Dean. Howdy, boys. Oh, hey, Sax. You still putting up with these two clowns?
Yeah.
I don't know if you read it like that or read it like that. I was just read it like that. But your fan base is back there, big sexy. It's back. It's better than ever. Okay, so we have through all the Steelers stuff. We know when the new year begins. I'm just curious to see how they fire off. The legal tampering period is March 9 to 11. Do they come out with a deal or two? They don't have that much money, or do they start releasing players to get money? Time will tell, and that will be the first indicator of what kind of team it's going to be, at least in my opinion. If they're aggressive and create cap space, why not? Why not take TJ Watt's money and spread it out over another 4 years, or go to the max you're allowed under the NFL collective bargaining agreement? I mean, if you can pay it in 10 years, pay it over 10 years. It's going to save you money. It's going to give you more cap space now. But all right, last question for both of you, right? Number one schedule in the AFC North belongs to the Pittsburgh Steelers. They have what on paper looks like a pretty tough schedule, but of course it's only on paper because there's no way to factor in injuries at all. So I'm going to ask you guys real quick. It's way, way too early, but I want to know, what's the record next year, Mac?
10-7.
Trace.
Wow.
I mean, I'm not Nostradamus with that statement, all right?
He's not Nostradamus, ladies and gentlemen.
11-6. Hey, again, Mac, what do you think of that?
I love you, Trace. I love you. Buddy.
Right behind you, buddy.
Okay, so we have this beautiful thing called a pen, and we also have this video that we're going to go over this time next year, and we'll see where the Steelers sit.
You lie. You don't need a pen or a video.
With Rodgers. That's with Rodgers.
That's with Rodgers. I don't think it's there with Rodgers. I really don't. I think it's just time to.
So you're telling me Tomlin's better than McCarthy? I knew you were a fan.
No, yeah. I'm just telling you that the way
absolutely
it play out is that
he's the biggest fan. That way bound.
We're not going to be able to. They're not going to be able to bring back Rodgers. Why would he want to come back? I don't get that. I mean, just from in his shoes, I'm not coming back. I mean, I hate the way my career ended with a pick six, but I'm not coming back.
Eddie, they think that they were a step away. They don't think they were that far away from competing in that playoff game.
This is a team that definitely 100% needs to self-scout. They just do. They have to look in the mirror. And I'll tell you what, if they don't self-scout and they just keep doing what they're doing, then the French native from another place is absolutely 100% correct. They're just a team that wants mediocrity. They just want to be able to say, "Oh, look, we win games every year," which means the Jets can come out and say, "Hey, look, we win. We don't win any games every year. We're in the same spot, right? Last 10 years, we hadn't won anything, and we still don't have a Super Bowl. We haven't won any playoff games. Neither has many other teams. But anyway, all right, real quick, we're going to whirl around the NFL. I don't see any news really other than the quarterbacks we talked about. Mac's favorite one is, as he said before, is Kirk Cousins. Now, a note: all these quarterbacks that are released are going to get that money, right? So that plays heavily in what kind of salary they're going to be given from their new team. And most teams just aren't going to pony up that much money, knowing they're going to make tens of millions of dollars from another team. So it's going to be interesting. I agree. Tua's probably dead. What do you think, Trace, about Tua? Is he rehabable? Is he functional? What?
I don't know what you do with that guy. I mean, obviously we don't have any diagnosis for real on the guy, but we've seen what we saw on film, live TV and whatnot. I don't know how he comes back from where he is there. I'm not sure he's even a systems guy, but he can't do the backyard thing because there's too many chances to take that hit now. So I don't see it happening, Eddie.
Mac, now here's an interesting guy. I agree with it. Kyler Murray is an interesting guy, right? He does have this bizarre addiction to video games, allegedly, but I mean it tracks with his play. He's kind of like that, Mighty Mouse. He can get in and out of places. He's got a cannon for an arm. He's a baseball player. Even with his height, he still sees well. And don't forget, all these guys, if they're released, they're free. There's no compensation whatsoever draft wise. Kirk Cousins for me is number one. I've said it 1,000 times. I'm not going to go back on that. But not far behind for me is Kyler Murray. The guy can move. He can move. Do you think Myles Garrett wants to chase him around twice a year? Hell no, he doesn't want to, because he's the guy's lightning quick. So I think the Steelers have options. Not their only option. Last week we talked about their only option being Rodgers. I just don't think it is. I'm not sure what that gets them. I really am. Even if they break out the old, dust off the old Green Bay Packers, playbook, I just don't understand what it gets the team, because it stunts the growth and it stunts the rebuild. They're not a team that's able to plug and play and continue going. They're just not. So for me, I don't know what that looks like, but I don't know. I think it's going to be interesting. We'll see how it goes.
Let me throw something interesting out here real quick. And I've made my statement about Cousins, and I think if Tua could land in a spot, he's good for a year. Maybe if there's a team ready to roll. And I'm going to mention a team here, but more interesting, I'm going to say this. Can you imagine what Minnesota's thinking when Kirk Cousins is available? I'm just going to throw it out there.
You and I talk. How many times have we talked about this, including Trace and Bill? We talked about this How many times have we talked about it? They're giving a Ferrari.
Wow.
To that kid. They gave a fully built, ready to go, top line Ferrari.
And again, when is this experiment going to run its course?
Well, it already cost the GM his job.
Put it this way. Let me ask you this, and I'm not a big Tua fan, but if you put Tua in Minnesota or you put Kirk Cousins in Minnesota, boy, that thing runs fast.
It does. It does.
Just saying.
And it's at least 9 games indoor, right? Because they play the Lions.
I mean, Tua can fling the football. He might get popped and he may not be alive in week 9
or week 2.
But if you can protect him, boy, the kid can fling the football, man.
Yeah, yeah. And you got two. You got Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison.
Wow.
You got T.J. Hawkinson at tight end. You got all that other stuff working for you. I don't know why
they could never call Cousins, though, could they?
Mac, I don't know. I don't think that kid can play quarterback. I just don't think he can. Right?
Yeah, I like him. I'm a fan.
Yeah,
I told you that when he drafted him, I was rooting.
Yeah, we all were. But it's going to be.
I would be interested to see how Tua would do there, because, Jonnu Smith did really well with Tua, but he was horrible with us here. He didn't understand anything. He was always out of position, and even Rodgers yelled at him at one play, like, "What are you doing?" Yeah. You know what I mean? That's so. I'd like to see how that does.
Yeah. I just don't think that offense is ready for prime time. Only because that's what I told. I didn't agree with the Rodgers thing, because it's going to take forever for him to get used to the offense. Who knows in a year or two what he looks like. But I think that's just whatever. Steelers are going to do what they want to do. All right, so now we're moving on. We're sitting at the 3/4 of the hour. We're going to talk about your Pittsburgh Penguins. So I don't know if everyone watched, but there was a collision that looked like the captain of the Team Canada was hit by Rasmus, whatever his name is, and it looked like his knee buckled. So reports, I'll let Matt give the reports really quickly. I mean, we know it could be a range of things, totally different things. So I'll give you two scenarios. Trace, you'll take the second. Mac, you'll take the first. Mac, the first scenario I'm going to give you, he has a sprained MCL. It's 2 to 6 weeks. How does that affect the team? It's a possible scenario.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know what happened. I apologize to that. It came right out. I couldn't help it. It was my best Rich Little. You guys are welcome for that. Wow, what a catastrophe! I can't imagine. I mean, if this guy's ACL is really
no, I give you your MCL. You're the MCL strain 2 to 6 weeks. Don't take Sax's thunder. That's the scenario. What do you think it does? 2 to 6 weeks without.
I apologize. I took the wrong one. All right.
Yes, you did.
The whole thing's got me distraught. Well, your question is he out?
He wasn't ready for your button hook.
These are possible scenarios. So the first possible scenario, we'll go with the most, the one that gives the best outcome. So if it's reported that he has a strained MCL, it's 2 to 6 weeks. So you're going to take that one and say, how does 2 to 6 weeks without him affect the franchise? Go ahead.
I don't
Given
think
the position there now.
2 weeks. 2 weeks is nothing. Okay, 6 weeks is a whole different story. You can lead through a 2-3 week span. You can't lead through a 6 week span. So I think that's simple. That's straightforward. But I won't take Trace's answer. I'm sorry for jumping in on you, try to steal that thunder, Trace. But 2 to 4 weeks, don't make it. I still think they'll make playoffs. In essence, it could be a good thing if like you like to say, player development. Younger guys can come in and take bigger roles. In a 2-3 week span. So I think it could help in some really deranged way without a Sidney Crosby. Dare I say that, Pittsburgh people? But it could develop younger guys and might be a good thing. Go on.
All right, Trace. Worst case scenario: torn ACL, 38 years old. We all know, from watching sports, playing sports, the second year is when that player, regardless of the sport, is when that player is healthy again. That will put him at 40 years old. What are your thoughts on that scenario?
I think it's a terrible scenario for this guy. He's had a fantastic career. I don't know. He's a little different player. It might not take him 2 years to come back. We still don't know what it is with the injury, but if being that he's almost 40 or he's 38 years old now and he'll be almost 40, I think he'll come back and finish it up either way, Eddie, but I don't know that he'll be the same player for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what Mac was saying today. So Mac brought up the point, Dr. McCown brought up the point. What if he, it is the ACL, and they do come back in 6 to 9 months, but we all know from watching sports, it's the second year when they're the healthiest. And Dr. McCown wondered out loud, is that career? What do you think, Trace? Is that the end of the career, or does he come back for like you were saying, just a victory tour or lap?
I don't think he's done. Even if his game changes a little bit, I don't think he's done. He's still got some stuff in the basement, right? Just like that skier that went down, broke her leg.
Yeah.
Lindsay, right? Going, yeah. Stuff in the basement. There's something to the screenplays. There's a reason why people write that. Player, Paul Mullen, I don't think was done mentally, but they told him he was done, right? Some of these guys just don't quit.
Yeah. Very, very, very good point. Excellent point. All right. The beef for the.
Well, I'll jump in on that. In reference to Sidney Crosby, if that's a complete tear, okay, and he's out for the season, I perhaps think that might be, the last game. I don't think this guy is one to like to come back and toss his hat up, tip his hat up. What are you going to call it? And may I remind you, Lindsey Vaughn's didn't turn out real well. Okay.
No, it didn't.
It did not turn out very well.
No, it did not. But again, he's not going almost 75, 80 miles down a hill, which he's facing people coming at him 30 miles an hour. But yeah, it did not end well. And obviously I'm not a Penguins fan, but you never want to see a star injured, never. And it looked like kind of a cheapest. I don't want to say dirty play, but it wasn't necessary. It wasn't as if he was headed to the net, and threatening a goal. It wasn't really. It didn't look like the most sportsmanlike hit. Put it that way. Wouldn't call it dirty, but it didn't look like it was as necessary.
Definitely wasn't dirty.
No, but it didn't look necessary. Let's put it that way.
And especially when there's a potential to end a guy, especially a guy like this caliber.
Right.
Now you're that guy.
Right.
Hopefully it's 2 weeks, boys.
Best case scenario is that 2 to 6 weeks. I mean, that would be the best case scenario. And I don't think they'd miss a beat, really.
I don't either.
Malkin was going for a little while, and they didn't seem to.
And again, what did that do? That helped.
Exactly.
He gave some other guys an opportunity, and they've been shining.
Exactly.
Right.
Eddie, there's another comment there.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. We have another comment. It is from I don't see it, actually.
It's too small for me to be able to read it.
We already read that one.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying. It just pops up every once in a while.
Sorry.
No problem. That's the one we read earlier. All right, so we're going to move on absolutely seamlessly to the Pittsburgh Pirates, right? And the Pittsburgh Pirates. I'm going to first start off with asking you fellers a question or two about the overall state of the Major League Baseball. So it is coming in the 27th season. So after this season, you have the 27th season, right? Where there's just going to be – they just lost the MLB PA president because he was, God knows what he was doing. He resigns abruptly. So for me, it looks like an absolute lockout. It just does. I'm looking at the tax payroll right now as we speak today. You have the Dodgers at $390 million, $390, $527, $413. And you have the Miami Marlins at $78 million, 106 triple sixes, right? To me, that's not a league, right? It's just not a league. And I'm going to put this out there because I hate salary caps to begin with. But in baseball, it's completely obnoxious right now. So 2 questions. Trace, you get the first crack at it. Do they try for a salary cap? And number 2, do they emphasize the basement and not the ceiling? So right now you have 14 teams in the MLB who spend, 14 teams in the MLB who spend $200 million or more. My recommendation would be $200 million. That's the basement, period. That would force so many of these teams to change ownership. Would it not? Trace, go.
I don't know about changing ownership, but it might not even be $200 million, but a basement of even $125 million needing to be spent would be something remarkable for the product that would go out there, right? So doing all this stuff to mess with how much time we're watching the game. Now, how about we actually get after, what they're paying? I don't think they're going to put a cap because they don't want to stop it from growing what they're paying these guys, because keep in mind, it's not 82 games. It's not 18 games. It's 162 a year. So some of these guys are actually worth it when you look at the TV money and everything else. But I don't know, Eddie. We'll see how it goes from there.
I think it has to be at the minimum $200 million basement. It just has to, because you have to get these teams competitive. If you do 125, that's nothing. The Pirates are at 120. So they spend $5 million on some journeyman.
That's why I'm saying that bar doesn't have to be that high. Like the 125.
It has to be.
Well, just the Marlins even coming up 50 million, I think is bringing that bar way up.
But the Marlins have 2 World Series, one in 97 and one in 2004. That's not too far distance. I think you put it at at least $200 million mark, because you have to make the league more competitive. Even with the amount of games they play, it has to be more competitive. You can't have the distance between the 2 teams. I mean, being, almost, it's $312 million difference between first and last team. That's not a league, right? If you make the difference, you cut the difference to 190. That's so much better, and you would get a new Pirates owner, because these owners would refuse to pay. They would just sell the teams. Which, if you
are they going to outprice the league though?
Right.
I mean?
I don't think so. It's the product. The product needs to change.
I don't disagree. I think everybody can agree on that.
Yeah. So you have to implement controls at the bottom. The top, because you can't always buy a championship. I mean, the Dodgers are pretty good about doing it, but you can't always do that. Look at the Yankees, right?
Well, yeah, and those teams, those cornerstones are they're gonna move the bar anyway, regardless of where you move it. They're going to move theirs.
I'm a firm believer in the basement. I understand your point, but I don't think it's going to. It can only increase the fan attraction, right? If you know your Pirates are going to spend $80 million more, right? I mean, they might spend it shoddily, but at least they have to spend it, right?
But keep in mind that as they're spending that $80 million more, that's that $80 million that the other teams that you mentioned overspending on right now won't be able to spend. So it'll start to balance out before the $200 million mark.
Correct. That's what you want. You want competitive balance. You want the players to see. How about keeping Skeens at $70 million a year, right? You enforce the basement. Pirates will be able to do that. Homegrown talent, right? I think once you do that,
staying that low. I think that's one of the reasons why, because you got like Ohtani, Skeens, those guys. How do you put a dollar value on them?
Well, they did. Ohtani makes $70 million a year.
Well, that's what they gave him in a contract. But what I'm talking about when you actually pinpoint how much money that dude makes, like bringing it in,
As far as revenue for the team?
Like, yeah, I mean, he attracts attention all the time.
Right. And don't you want that for your hometown team?
Right, that'd be great, but I'd rather have a World Series.
Right. And that's how you do it, by keeping Skeens, by giving him that kind of money. So as far as let's get back to the roster of your team, the Pirates. Is the kid they're bringing up, is he really comparable to Mike Trout? Go ahead.
Yes.
Would you stop? It's Dr. McCown's turn. Go ahead, Dr. McCown.
Well, I mean, rumor has it that he is. What is he? He's only 19, right?
Yes.
Right.
Connor Griffin.
Yes, Connor Griffin.
Yeah.
19 years old. Do you bring him up and just bypass AAA? I mean, why stop in AAA? Who cares?
Well, they're talking about getting him into play here, in the spring, from what I hear.
Right.
I mean, is that realistic? I mean, should be.
Yes.
What are you waiting for?
I don't know.
I mean, but they have a history of doing this.
Yeah.
They waited to put Skeens in. Don't forget.
Yeah, he was in Indianapolis for some reason. Yeah.
I mean,
they did that for money and retention, though, I thought.
Well,
yeah, they did. They delayed
dumb.
him to make sure they get that next year, that arbitration year, or whatever, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right,
every time I hear every time I hear they do something for this reason, it doesn't equate to winning.
No, not at all. No.
Agreed.
I know. Are they going to make any big moves before the season starts?
They've already done it.
No.
So they're rolling with what they got. Any chance? Another question. This was floated around by the A Train. Any chance the move they made? They just designated what's his name for assignment. Any reason they did that to bring back Kutch?
You talk about Sawinski.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe. You never know. But if they bring back Kutch, he's just a designated hitter because that other guy they just signed will be our left fielder.
Correct. So did that have any effect on it? I mean, there's no salary cap. You can bring back whoever you want, which was my point. But
I would not mind that. I think the Kutch would do better than Sawinski just as a designated hitter.
okay.
I like bringing up Connor Griffin because that completes our infield except for where? Third base.
Always third base. Always third base. Yeah. So last question to both of you. We'll start with McCown this time, the doctor. Is this the year they finish over 500? Go ahead, Mac.
No. 78.
I mean, they go 81 and 80. They go 82 and 80. What do you think?
By the way, if you said that they would win 78 games for the last 20 years, you win a stuffed animal every year.
True. That's true. Max says no. What do you say? What says you, Sax?
I don't think so. I'll give him 75 games.
They will finish 83 and 79. You heard it here first. 83 and 79.
Wow.
You heard it here first. They got good
Well,
pitch.
if that's the case, then what's so great about this pitcher we got then if we're not even like doing that great?
Bubba? Which one?
Well, I mean, Skeens, right? So he's like this huge thing and whatnot, but like we're not winning with him. So how good is he?
I think he's fantastic. He's the Cy Young Award winner. I think.
I've seen him pitch, and I understand You know, he has like 4 or 5 pitches, and by the time it's only like 10 feet from you, you got to see what it's doing, right? I mean, it's remarkable. Don't get me wrong, but what's the deal with having this if you're not doing anything else with it?
It's not that kind of sport. It just isn't, because he can't control what you're doing at the plate as far as offense.
He's only there every 3 or 4 days,
and that's
3 or 4 games.
Right. He's only pitching, 20, 30 games maybe, tops. I mean, if it worked that way, yeah, he's Cy Young Award. Kid's amazing. But how long are you going to keep him? It's all in due time. We're just waiting now.
If this was the NBA, if this was the NBA and we had schemes, we'd have an NBA championship, boys.
Yeah, the Pittsburgh Fish. The Fish.
So if that's the case, then, and they bring up Connor, I really think the only thing we're missing is a third baseman, and it could be Triolo or Gonzalez in between. But I think Triolo and Gonzalez is our utility fielder. I think we're in good position there.
I think in baseball, when you think you're one player, where you're actually probably 3 or 4, just because you need to platoon people. As you said, it's 161 freaking games.
Well, I did think we were 2 people away, and they went and got 4 people. Right? They got that low guy for second base. They got that outfielder.
Yeah.
And then there was one more.
You have to get quality people. You can't let these idiots go out and get.
Well, what they did, Eddie, if I'm not mistaken, is everybody they got is 20 or 30 home run hitters, right? So what you're going to see is the show, right? So you're going to come to PNC Park and get the show. You know, Skeens pitch every 5-6 days.
Yep.
And he'll hold them down to a couple runs, if anything. And then you're going to have guys who hit home runs, and hopefully they support the other guys who are supposed to hit the home runs already. And we'll see if it works.
I mean, at least it looks like it's something different.
It does. I think if they can get this number 3 and number 4 slot with these 2 guys they just picked up and start moving guys like Cruz down to like 5, 6, take some stress and pressure off them, we might see some better results.
Yeah. All right, we're just waiting for Sir William. Excellent job. I'm going to award Tracy 16,545 points, and Mac, you're going to get 17,000 even. So Mac wins. It was close, Mac. What really did it for me, Mac, was the answer to the question you stole from Tracy. Was the beginning of taps. It was bloody brilliant, is what it was. That's what did it. Trace, you got to get better on your prop game, man. I'm telling you.
I'll work on that.
You're there.
If you would have had the dog with you this week, Trace, you'd have won.
Easily.
He was here. He was over here for a minute. I got this thing propped up. You can't see him.
All right. Well, there's no visual. It's all about the visual, Trace.
Now he's passed the hell out.
We need to hear him bark. And everybody's going to call out, Billy. Oh, Billy. I think he's backstage. Billy.
William.
Burn it and let the English see you burn it, Wayne.